Hello everyone. Today again we are going to discuss with the chapter dual nature of matter and radiation in the second session. So in this session we will first discuss regarding what is photoelectric effect. Already we know in the previous lecture itself what is a photoelectric emission. So based on that who are the scientists they are discussed regarding the photoelectric effect, as well as what are the experimental study of photoelectric effect today we will discuss. So the photoelectric effect that will be discovered by the different scientists, such as there are two scientists here we know regarding them, that is Heinrich Hertz as well as Hallwag and Leonard. So first one, Heinrich Hertz in 1887 observed that high voltage spark across the detector loop when the emitter plate was illuminated by an ultraviolet light from a arc lamp. So next, the Leonard, who has observed that when an ultraviolet radiation were allowed to fall on a glass tube, the emitter plate of an evacuated glass tube enclosing the two electrodes, then the current flows in the circuit. As soon as ultraviolet radiation were stopped, the current flow is also stopped. So, William Hallwag in 1888, he took negative charged zinc plate and illuminated by an ultraviolet radiation, and he observed that the plate lost its charge, and further he enhanced that the radiation, then the zinc plate becomes positively charged. Therefore, based on this, they have given one definition regarding the photoelectric effect. So, photoelectric effect, it is nothing but the phenomena of emission of an electron from the surface of the metals when the radiation of suitable high frequency that will be incident on the metal surface. So, that purpose only they have took the zinc plate, that is a negatively zinc plate. So, whenever the ultraviolet radiation that will fall on that, at that time the electron starts to emit from that zinc plate. So therefore the definition comes it as, it is one phenomena of emission of an electron from the surface of a metals when the radiation of suitable high frequency are incident on the metal surface. Similarly, some more definitions here you have to know. Then the minimum, whatever the suitable high frequency we told, high frequency means how much high, that has to understand here. That is the minimum frequency of incident radiation for which the photoelectric emission that will be taken place, that is called as threshold frequency. Means some minimum frequency which is required to incident on that metal surface so that the electron has to come out or it has to liberate from the metal surface. So how much minimum frequency it is required, that minimum frequency itself is called as, it is a threshold frequency. And similarly, the electrons which are emitted in this photoelectric effect, that electrons we call it as, it is photoelectrons. And similarly, the current which is produced due to these electron is called as photocurrent. And the minimum energy, just understand these two, the minimum frequency which is used to or which is applied to the metal surface so that the electron has to liberate from that metal, that minimum frequency is called as a threshold frequency. But the minimum energy which is required for the electron to escape from the metal surface is called as the work function of the metal surface. So what is the difference between these two means, the minimum frequency whenever you are using means it is considered, it is light as considered as a wave. So when you consider light as a wave, at that time the minimum frequency is required for the metal to remove the electron, that is called as threshold frequency. But whenever we consider light as a particle, at that time the minimum energy which is required by an electron to escape from the metal surface, that is called as work function of the metal. Both are the same, threshold frequency as well as work function means same, but the frequency which is related to the light as wave and energy which is related to the light as a particle. Similarly, one more definition, that is 1 electron volt, it is the energy gained by an electron which is accelerated by a potential difference of 1 volt. That is already we know 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6, usually we are using 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19, or you can write it as 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. Next, we will study the experimental study of photoelectric effect. Just to observe the diagram here. So the experimental arrangement is shown in the figure. It consists of an evacuated glass tube having a photosensitive plate C. So in diagram you just observe one glass plate is there and one photosensitive plate, that is C, and that C which is kept at a negative potential, and a metal plate A which is kept at a positive potential, and these two plates which are connected to the circuit, they are shown in the figure. And similarly, the polarity of plates that can be changed with the help of using commutator key. So this commutator key is the new one for you. Commutator key which is used to change the polarity. Polarity means the positive and the negative sign here. Here the initially the C is at a negative potential and A is at a positive potential we told. So after certain time, whenever you change that key, means you reverse that key, at what happens, that C becomes a positively charged, a positive potential, and A becomes at a negative potential. So this purpose we are using this commutator key. Next, what happens when a monochromatic light from a source, that is yes we have taken the light or a short wavelength which is passed through the window W, and that is made to fall on a photosensitive plate C. Then the electrons which are emitted by the plate C, they is collected at the plate A. Already the C is at a negative potential. So electrons which are liberated from that, of course they will attract towards the positive potential, and our A is at a positive potential. So all these electrons which are collected at a point A or a plate A. Then this motion of electrons, already we know the flow of current or the flow of charge is nothing but our flow of current itself. So this motion of electrons in the tube, that leads to the a minimum amount of current which is produced in that entire circuit. So that minimum amount of current, that will be measured with the help of microammeter. Just in diagram you observe that is mu A is written. That mu A is nothing but it is a microammeter. Why you are using micro means the flow of electron is less here. So because of that a less amount of current will be produced in this case. And the photoelectric current, that can be increased or decreased by varying the potential at A with respect to the emitter C. Next, we can discuss with the help of this experiment by changing the intensity, or what is the effect of intensity of light on the photocurrent. So already we know how that electron will be emitted from the plate and how it will be collected to the collector plate. So based on this, there will be a small amount of current will be produced in the entire circuit. Then what is the effect of intensity of light on a photocurrent, that we will discuss. So for that, first we have considered the graph here. Here in this case, the effect of intensity we are studying means keeping the potential as well as the frequency. Whatever the frequency we are, or the ultraviolet radiation, whatever the radiation you are taking, that frequency remains the constant, as well as the potential whatever you are applying, suppose 2 volt, 3 volt, whatever the potential you are applying, that must be remains constant. Only the variable is the intensity. How the intensity goes on changes, what is the effect is taken place to the photocurrent, that we are going to study here. So for that here, the potential between the collector and the emitter is maintained steady, means that is maintained constant, and the frequency of incident radiation is also fixed, but the intensity of radiation is varied. And then each time the photocurrent versus intensity of light radiation is a straight line. So just to observe the graph, intensity of light versus the photocurrent, at that time each time we are getting it as a straight line itself. Means what happens, the number of electrons which are emitted per second, that is directly proportional to the intensity of incident radiation. So both are directly proportional, means intensity increases, automatically the photocurrent is also increases, intensity decreases, photocurrent decreases. So with the help of this we can say that the photoelectric current, it will depend upon the intensity, but it is not going to depend upon the potential as well as the frequency. Second one, coming towards the another one effect, that is the effect of potential on the photocurrent. So first we have discussed regarding effect of intensity, next is the effect of potential. So in this case what happens, the potential goes on varies, but the intensity and the frequency remains the same. So for that again we have considered the graph. So in this case, just see here, the frequency and the intensity radiations is fixed. So frequency and the intensity are fixed, only the potential goes on varying. In this case, first the plate A, which is at a positive potential with respect to the plate C. So in diagram we have observed the plate C and plate A. Here the plate A, which is at a positive potential compared to the plate C, or with respect to the plate C. So when the potential is increased, then it is observed that photocurrent increases up to the certain stage, and after that it becomes steady. So already we know the potential also goes on increases, automatically the electrons flow is also goes on increases, and the current will also goes on increases, but up to this process will be taken place up to certain stage. After certain stage there will be no increase, there will be no decrease, it will be remains at a steady position. Thus the emitted electrons which are collected by a positive plate, at which the photoelectric current becomes maximum, and it is called as the saturation current. Already we know there is a emitter plate and the collector plate. Emitter plate, of course, it will emit the electrons, and the collector plate, that will be going to collect the electron. So these emitted electrons that will be collected by this positive plate, that is a plate A, and the photocurrent is also goes on increases. But after the saturation means once it reaches the maximum current. So once the current reaches its maximum value, then also you are going to change the potential, then there will be no change in the current. Suppose you are giving now the 2 volt potential. So at that time the current goes on increases, making 3 volt, 4 volt, like that you are doing. So current up to certain value, now it reaches to the certain 30 microampere. After 30 microampere, again you are increasing the potential, like 4 volt, 5 volt, now you are increasing. Yes, of course the potential goes on increases, but current already it has reached its maximum value, that is we can say the saturation. So once it has reaches its maximum value, the current will not go further, or it is not going to increase. Then what happens, just we see. So after saturation stage, the potential of plates are reversed. So now we know, after this, once the current reaches the maximum value, means again we are increasing the potential, there will be no use because the current will not going to increase. So now we have to reverse this. So the potential plates are reversed, then the electrons, of course, they will repelled by the plate A. So once it will be reversed, means already our A is at a positive potential. So now our A becomes a negative potential. So already electrons are also negatively charged. So negative, of course there will be a repulsion, and the electrons, they will repelled by the plate A and they will start to collect at a plate C. And it is observed that increase in the reverse potential, the photocurrent decreases, but at a particular reverse potential the photocurrent becomes 0. So this point you have to remember. There will be increase in the reverse potential, the photocurrent goes on decreases. So it is a reverse one. So whenever you are increasing the potential, automatically the photocurrent goes on decreases, but at a particular value of reverse potential, the photocurrent becomes completely 0. That value, that is called as a stopping potential, you can see. Here is the definition. The minimum negative potential which is given to the collector plate, we can't say it as a 0, that is minimum negative potential which is given to the collector plate, for which the photoelectric current becomes 0. That is called as a stopping potential or cutoff potential. You have to remember this definition, that is the minimum negative potential which is given to the collector plate, for which the photoelectric current becomes 0. So whenever the photoelectric current becomes 0 means you are applying certain negative potential to that. That is called as the stopping potential or cutoff potential. So here is the graph regarding this, the photocurrent and the collector plate, and V0 which is taken as it is a stopping potential. So next we will discuss the third effect, that is the effect of frequency of radiation on stopping potential. So first one is intensity over, second one is potential, and the third one is frequency. So here the effect of frequency means, of course the frequency goes on changes, but the intensity as well as potential keeping constant. Here is the graph. Now the intensity of radiation is fixed and the potential is varied for the radiation for different frequencies. The photoelectric current varies, and it is found that the first one, the value of stopping potential is different for the different frequency. So different frequency lights we are using, then we are getting the stopping potential also for different types. It is not getting only the same, but for the stopping potential which is different for the different frequencies. Similarly, the value of stopping potential is more negative for a radiation of higher frequency. So higher frequency radiations, whenever we are using, the stopping potential value is more negative we are getting. And similarly, third one, the saturation current is independent of frequency but depends on the intensity of radiation. First only we told the intensity, the photoelectric current mainly it depend upon the intensity, but it does not depend upon the frequency. In just graph you observe the saturation current, that is all here we are getting 3 different layers, but in that only one, means the saturation current which is independent of the frequency, but it depend upon the intensity. And similarly, the stopping potential and threshold frequency is different for different material like alkali metals such as lithium, sodium, potassium, etc. And stopping potential is visible region for materials like copper, zinc, etc. And it is in the ultraviolet region. Next we will discuss, based on these 3 experimental facts or the effects, we can get the laws of photoelectric emission. So first law is, for a given material, a minimum frequency of incident radiation exists below which the photoelectron emission does not take place, and that is called as the threshold frequency. Already we know the minimum frequency which is required for the electron to emit out from the metal surface. That minimum frequency is called as the threshold frequency. So this is our first law. So that minimum frequency has to obey, then only the electron emission will be taken place. So these laws are important for 3 marks. Similarly, second one, for above threshold frequency, the number of electrons which are emitted per second, that is directly proportional to the intensity of the radiation. So once the threshold frequency it will sufficient, then the number of electrons which are come out from the metal surface per second, that is directly proportional to the intensity of incident radiation. Similarly, above the threshold frequency, the kinetic energy of the electrons that will increases linearly with the frequency, but it is not going to depend upon the intensity. So you have to remember, the intensity is directly proportional to the photoelectric current, and the kinetic energy of all these electrons which is depend upon the frequency, but it is not going to depend upon the intensity. Similarly, the photoelectric emission, it is a very instantaneous process without any time lag. So whenever suitable high frequency radiation is incident on the metal surface, suddenly the electron gets the sufficient energy and it will come out. So It is a very instantaneous process. There will be no delay of a time will be taken place. So this is the session regarding the photoelectric effect, the experiment as well as the laws. Just go through it. Thank you.